Greetings, it's Ian from RTO here. The light has improved a little bit since I did the live stream promotion, which had its own little drama within. So welcome to Marathon Wednesday, and we are going to continue with Todd Rundgren today. If you hear the noise in the background, it is the fan of the computer. It's decided to whirl up. I don't know. Anyway, so today we're going to concentrate on from number 13 to number 1, but we'll just go through where we got to. So at number 26 was Reproduction, number 25 was Up Against It, number 24 was No World Order, number 23 was Liars, number 22 was Global, number 21 was The Individualist, number 20 was White Knight, number 19 was A Cappella, number 18 Arena, number 17 With a Twist, number 16 Second Wind, number 15 State, and number 14 Space Force. So today we're going to start at number 13, and lucky for some. So coming in at number 13 from 1989, we have Nearly Human, which is Todd plays everything on it. So the first track on here is The Want of a Nail, that featured Bobby Womack, and it's not too bad. I don't mind that one. That was pretty good. The Waiting Game comes next. It's overproduced 80s sound, so it doesn't do much for me. Parallel Lines, it's still got an 80s feel to it, but it's not a bad song, and that's why it's a little bit higher. These songs are pretty good even though they're overproduced. Unloved Child, really good. I love the funky solo on it, absolutely brilliant. Can't Stop Running, a fantastic guitar solo from Todd on that. I mean, he is a really good guitarist, you can't deny that. Fidelity, a simple sort of 80s song, it's not too bad actually. Feel It, I'd say this is very MTV. It's alright though, I've got no problem with it. And Hawking, this makes nice background music, I think, that one. And the last track, I Love My Life, a little bit it's okay. It's now, as I said, this is a very over an 80s produced album, but it does sound dated. But I think the songs on this are not that bad, in all honesty. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, then, coming in at number 12, this was his 9th album and he released it in 1981, and it is called Healing. Once again, Todd seems to be plays everything. So the first track on here is called Healer. It's a bit of a mixed track. It's got an electronic drum beat, which I don't like, but the rest of the song is pretty good. Pulse, it's another track with lots going on. It seems very busy track, but it seems to come together. Flesh, it's keyboards driven. It's not about the vocal. Sounds all right. Golden Goose, I think this is quite a fun track. I don't mind this. It's a nice little number. Pretty solid actually. Compassion, very radio friendly with track, but I don't mind that. It's quite got a good beat to it. Shine, it's the worst thing on the album. That drum beat is awful. It doesn't even fit with the song. Then we have Healing Part 1. It's very 80s sounding, a little bit dated I suppose, but I do like how it's been put together, just like Healing Part 2. I think this is the best bit of the Healing. There's some nice tones on this. It's a great vocal. I do like that one. Hey, but Healing Part 3, I'm not a fan of this. It's a little bit too much. Time Heals. I like the song, but I don't like the overproduced production on it. I think it's a really good song, spoilt by 1980s production. And Tiny Demons got a nice guitar work through this. Again, it's just that overproduced. I just find this album, I mean the songs are good, but it's that overproduced sound that really does spoil it. I think if this had been made 10 years later or 10 years previous, I think it would have been a better album because the songs are good. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay, then coming in at number 11 from the year 2000, 17th, and it's called One Long Year, and it's composed of recordings that were released initially to only subscribers. So joining Todd on here, who does all the vocals and instruments, we got different these on one of the songs, Love of the Common Man. We've got Ken Emerson guitar, Jess Gress on guitar, Kazim Sultan on the bass, John Forensic on keyboards, and Prairie Prince on drums. The first track is my favourite track on here. It's called I Hate My Frickin' ISP. It starts off with the computer thing. It's the vocal from Todd is really good. I do like that track, one of the best tracks on the album. Buffalo Grass, very strange vocal, but it sort of works with what I think Todd was trying to do. Jerk, this is shocking. Awful. Then we have Bang on the Ukulele Daily live. I'm not keen on throwing live tracks in the middle of studio albums, but it's not too bad. Where Does the Time Go? I can just about cope with this. Love of the Common Man. Some of the songs on this album, some songs are pleasant, but they're not brilliant. Like this one, there's nothing wrong with it, but I wouldn't jump up and down for it. Mary and the Holy Ghost. It's okay. It's got little moments of fascination on it for me. You're Fast and I Like It. Quirky little number. I haven't got a problem with that one. It's got some nice guitar bits on it. Hit Me Like a Train. Very pleasant. I've got no problems with that. You know, it's a listenable track. The last track, The Surf Talks. I like the harmonising on this. I do like that. It sort of fits in with it. Not a bad track. Okay, this is quite a mixed bag. There's some really good tracks on here, and there's a couple that end. So I quite enjoyed listening to this, believe it or not. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 10, we have Runt, the Ballad of Todd Rundgren, the second album from 1971. Todd's on piano, organ, pump organ, Wurlitz, the electric piano. We've got Tony Sales on bass, and conga and tambourine, Andy Smart drums, John Guerin on drums, Hunt Sales on drums, Jeffrey Sheff on bass on some of the tracks. The first track on here is Long Flowing Robe, very middle of the road, very safe. It's an okay track, I don't mind that one. The Ballad of Denny and Jean, it's a good track, I quite like that. Bleeding, I like the song, but the bongos just didn't fit in with the track. Wailing Wall is next, my favourite song in here. I love the lovely balance of it. It's got a lovely piano piece on this one, really good. The Range Walls, okay, it's very Eagles-like, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's quite a nice song. Chain Letter. It's in between. It's got mixes of a bit of a rocker and a bit of a ballad somewhere in between, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like how it's been put together. It's a really good track. A Long Time, A Long Way to Go. This is strange. It's when he goes off into them high pitch vocals that does me. Boat on the Charles. Very pleasant, but I don't want to jump up and down to it. It's just nice to listen to. Be Nice to Me, my second favourite track on here. It's got some lovely harmonising vocals and a really nice piano long song bit. It's very structured as well. Nice. Hope I'm Around. It sounds like a lot of the tracks on here, but there's nothing wrong with it. I don't mind it. Parole, nice little rocker here. It's got a great guitar solo on it. And the last track is Remember Me, 51 seconds that I can't get back of my life. An okay album. There's a lot of it. I've listened to Todd. There's a little bit of inconsistent on all the albums. There's songs that are not very memorable, but there's quite a good selection on here, and it was quite safe. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.2. Okay, coming in at number 9 from 1982, and this was the 10th album, the ever popular Tortured Artist Effect. First track on this one is called Hideaway. It's very safe music, a little bit rocky, bit soft rock. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Influenza. It's okay. There's a little. I did find a couple of flat notes on it though when I listened to it under the headphones, but I'm not going to debate too much about that. Don't Hurt Yourself. This is just typical 80s American rock pop, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't mind it really. There Goes Your Baby. Again, it's just very safe, soft rock. Then my favourite song on here is a cover of the Small Faces Tin Soldier, and it's a very, very good cover. Best track on the album. Then we have this pointless thing called Emperor of the Highway, 1 minute 39 that I need to get back. Bang on the Drum All Bang on the Drum All Day. Not too bad, even though it has got a rather cheesy keyboard on it. Then we have Drive, commercial radio friendly rock. It's alright. It's pretty good for, considering the time this came out. Pretty good. Chant. It's not brilliant. I'm really not into that. Once again, there are some highlights on this album. I mean, the cover of Tin Soldiers is absolutely brilliant. It's just very safe rock, and there's I haven't got no problem with it. It's quite a good listenable album, so I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay, coming in at number 8, we have the self-titled. This is a band called Runt, sort of part of the thing, and it is Runt. It came out in 1970, and it's Todd Rundgren on guitars, Hunt Sales on drums, Tony Fox Sales on bass. Lots of other people on here. So the first track is called Broke Down and Busted. Good track. I love the vocal on that from Todd. Really good. Then we have Believe Me. We start off with we've got another good rocker with a bit of a middle of the road feel to it as well. Really decent track. We've got to Get Your Woman. It was a single, but I wouldn't say it was a great choice. Who's the Man? My favourite track on here. This is a proper sort of song. Great vocals from Todd. I like that one. Once Burned. This just put you to sleep a little bit. I don't like that one much. Devil's Bite was got a fantastic guitar solo on this. Probably the best one on the album. I'm in the Clique. Now this is going into a bit of a free-for-all jazz sound. Everyone's doing their own thing. There are no words. It's a little bit dreary and a little bit pretentious. I'm not a fan of that one. Baby Let's Swing, The Last Thing You Said, and Don't Tie My Hands. Pretty good little medley there. Like that. Birthday Carol, I like it up to about 3/4 of the way through, then it gets boring, and that's when they should have finished. I do like the brass in this. It's not a bad album. It sort of set out the stall a little bit. There are some weird stuff on here. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.4. Okay, coming in at number 7, we've got the 5th album, and it is just called Todd, and this is his second double album. So the first track on here is called How About a Little Fanfare. It's a little short piece. Fanfare, backwards, not for me. I do like the keyboard bit in it though. Then we have a thing called I Think You Know. It's a good track. I do like the guitar solo on that. It is pretty decent. Up next, The Spark of Life. What's going on here? Too much going on, and I think this is a little pretentious. Okay, an LP's worth of tunes. Interesting track. The music sounds like it has come from a kiddies TV program theme. A Dream Goes On Forever. A 2-minute song that sort of meanders. Lord Chancellor's Nightmare song. Not the best track on this album. Bit of a filler, that one. Move on to side 2, and it's Drunken Blues Rooster. It's okay. It's not a bad track. The Last Ride. Not another pretty decent track. I like the guitar work on it. It's very, very good. Everybody's Going to Heaven and King Kong Reggae. Yeah. I don't like the change of sound. It sort of goes muffled. It sounds like it sounds muffly. Let's get it to think it's okay. Reggae sounds a little bit muffled as well. It's not the best track. Then we go to side 3. Number 1, The Lowest Common Denominator. Very weird, very busy, lots going on, but the guitar work does stand out. Useless Begging. This album is not very consistent. It's just got some odds and bits on it, and this is one of them. Sidewalk Cafe. I don't like tracks that there's so much going on and they become very busy. You can't pick out anything on that one, I'm afraid. Is That Love? Shutty good. Did I say something I shouldn't have said there? It's okay. It's a short little ditty. But my favourite track here is Heavy Metal Kids. It's very heavy. One of the heaviest tracks I've heard him do, and I do like it. That takes us to side 4. And we've got a track on it called In and Out of the Charkers We Go. Very sort of atmospheric, sort of spicy sort of track, as I call it. It's pretty good. Don't You Ever Learn, not too bad. It's got some nice guitar tones on there. Sons of 84, it's not too bad. It's sort of a sing-along musical number. Unfortunately, I think this is one of those double albums that should have been a single. There's a lot of filler on this album, but there's a lot of really good tracks, and that's why I've put it so high up, because the good tracks are good, and I do, as I said, I think it should have been a single album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 6, it's an album that came out in 2011, and it's Todd's tribute to Robert Johnson for what would have been his 100th birthday. Now on the cover it looks quite rude. It says Todd Rundgren's Johnson. And Johnson's another name for it. Yeah. So it's basically a collection of Robert Johnson songs. And on here we've got Dust My Broom. I love that track, and he does a really okay version of it. He puts extra bits in that he doesn't need in my books. Stop Breaking Down. I like this version. He did add a few extra bits at the end, but I'll give him that. And then Kind Hearted Woman Blues. It's one of the better versions of that song. It is pretty good. Walking Blues. A lot of people do this, and it's not a bad version. Love in Vain, the best song on here. It's one of my favourite songs from Robert Johnson, and Todd does a decent version of it. Least Fair Deal Gone Down, not bad either a go. But I don't like the version of Sweet Home Chicago. It's too slow. This is going to be a bit of an upbeat thing. Even Quo's version's better than this. They're Hot isn't bad either. Great vocal from Todd. Come Into My Kitchen, another classic, very good. Hellbound on My Trail, some great guitar work there from Todd. Travelling Riverside Blues, one of my favourite tracks on the album. And then Crossroads. I like this version. It's a bit more slow tempo than when Cream did it, but it's pretty good. It's a nice selection of Robert Johnson songs here. Some of the interpretations are not what I like, but on the whole I think it is a really good little tribute. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.6. Top 5. So at number 5, the 4th album from 1973, a Wizard, a True Star. Plays everything on here. Side 1 is called the International Feel in 8. So the first track is International Feel. I quite like this. It's a short track, but it's nice and gentle. It's got little tones in it that I like. Never Neverland, short ram, but I like the dreamy atmosphere on this one. Tick Tick Tick, it wears off. This carries on from Neverland with some nice little keyboards. These are all little short tracks, and then you Need Your Head. The guitar and word is really nice and it flows quite well. Rock and Roll Pussy, shouty, really strange track. Dogfight Giggle, totally bizarre. What's going on here? You don't have to camp around. It sounds like the record's warped. It's interesting. Then we have Flamengo, strange track, but I love the quirky little keyboard in it. Zen Archer, it's only 5 minutes long, but it still goes on a little bit too long. Then there's Just Another Onion Head, Da Da Dali. Doesn't really fit on the album. Okay, the next track is an interesting title. When the Shit Hits the Fan, Sunset Boulevard. I like this one. I love the Hammond organ on it. It's one of the best tracks on the album. La Fille Internationale, not much going on there, bit strange. And then side 2 is called A True Star. The first track is Sometimes I Don't Know What to Feel. The best track on the album. I think this is a really good track. Got some nice guitar work on it. Then we've got Does Anybody Love You? It's a great track, but it's only a minute and a half long. It should have been longer, I think. Then we have this little medley of songs. We've got I'm So Proud from Curtis Mayfield, Ooh Baby, Smokey Robinson, La La La, William Hart, and Cool Jerk, Donald Strawbell. It's okay. I like how he's put these songs together to have this sort of rock and roll-y type melody. Don't mind that. Hungry for Loves. Love the keyboard sound on this. It's brilliant, and it's got a great guitar solo on this really strange but short track. I Don't Want to Tie You Down. The worst track on here, the vocals are rubbish. Is It My Name? One of the best tracks on here. Excellent riffs in it. And the last track is Just One More Phone Trick. One of the best tracks on the album. Because again, I like the structure of this. This is pretty good. It's got... Okay, Todd will always do something bizarre on his albums. But there's no flow with it. I think the little bits and bobs do spoil it, as I call it. But the actual structure songs are very, very good. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.7. Okay, coming in at number 4, 8th album that came from 1978, and it's called Hermit of the Mink Hollow. Side 1 is called The Easy Side. So the first track on here is called All the Children Sing. Very safe, middle of the road song. It's okay. Can We Still Be Friends? I like this. I love the harmony singing on this. It's a very, very good track. Hurting for You. Some nice singing on it, and it has got a good guitar solo on it as well. Too Far Gone. He's gone back to that bossa nova. I like that bossa nova feel to it. Really short little track, but really good. Then we have Onomatopoeia. Very strange, minute and a half. I don't know what's going on with that one. One of them odd bits, as I call them. Determination. The drumming on this is really good. The keyboard sounds good. One of the best tracks on the album. Side 2 is what they call called the difficult side, and the first track is called Bread. So again, it starts off with this sort of middle of the road American rock songs. I like the tempo. It's got a great bass line. It's a very good track. But my favourite track on here is called Bag Lady. It's got a lovely saxophone piece on it. It's a nice gentle ballad, and I really like that. You Cried Wolf. It's got that sort of Motown feel to it. You're expecting the Supremes to start singing. Pretty good track. Lucky Guy. I love this. That piano at the start is really nice. It's got a little bit of accordion in there as well. It's a really interesting track. Out of Control is next. Good Little Rocker, my second favourite track on here. Great sounds on that one. Fade Away is a little bit of a wishy-washy song to end the album. Okay, I think this is a pretty decent album. It's got a lot of good tracks on this. Some of the tracks on here are really well put together, and it was a good listen. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 7.8. Okay, coming in at number 3, the 6th album from 1975, Initiation. Again, Todd plays everything. Real Man, fantastic song. One of my favourite songs from Todd. I just love the words, I love the song, I love the arrangement. It's an excellent track. Born to Synthesize. This is annoying and I didn't really like it. It really got on my goat. Then we have The Death of Rock and Roll, which is my favourite track on here. It's one of the heaviest tracks again. Todd's really going for it on that. It's an excellent track. Eastern Intrigue. Sorry, I can't say that word. A point like this it's a sort of a progression, jazzy thing. It's really good. I do like it. It's very quirky. In the Initiation, love the bass right line. Very jazzy, and then you got this rock sort of guitar bit on top. Fair Warning, another nice track. That saxophone really works. Excuse me. Gesundheit. That's better. That, as I said, that saxophone on Fair Warning really works. It was a great vocal from Todd. Now, this is the one that people thought I wouldn't like on side 2. A Treatise on Cosmic Fire. 36 minutes. I love it. I absolutely love it. I get it. I say it's a cross between... You've got bits of Jean-Michel Jarre, bits of Jethro Tull, with a huge helping of Tangerine Dream. I just think this is clever. I really do. There's a lot of people will be shocked that I get like that, but I do. I think it's absolutely brilliant. This is a really good album, to be quite honest. I like the synthesize on it. It was totally freaky, but it's a well put together album, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, number 2 is the 7th album from 1976, and it's Faithful. We've got Todd Rundgren on here, who plays all the instruments, and we've got Roger Powell doing some keyboards, an electric guitar on 6 if 6 was 9. John Seeger plays bass guitar and cello, and John Wilcox is on the drums. So the first track is called Happenings 10 Years Time Ago, which is of course a Yardbirds song, and I like this version of this song. It's pretty good. Okay, the second song is the Beach Boys' Good Vibrations, and to be quite honestly, this is one of the best covers of this song I have ever heard. Todd does it justice. Really is good. Then we have Rain from Beatles. Keeps it faithful. There's nothing different about it. It's really nice. Then Mostly Likely to Go Your Way and I'll Go Mine, the Bob Dylan number, and Todd does a really good version of it. Just like If 6 Was 9, the Jimi Hendrix number. It's a really good version of it. Todd does a really good job on that. Then we have Strawberry Fields Forever. It's okay. And then we got Side 2, which is more... it's interesting. We got Black and White. Love this track. And it's a good version of it. Love The Common Man. This is a better version than the other version he did. I love the twin guitar sound on this. It really works. When I Pray, not a fan of this one. It's a little bit wishy-washy. Cliche. I love the acoustics and the harmonies on it. The Verb to Love. Nice keyboards on this. But it goes on a little bit too long at the end. And then the last track, Boogie's Hamburger Hell. My favourite song. I like the guitar work on this. It just feels like it's like a soldier's going off to war sort of thing. I do like it. It's a really good track. I like this album, believe it or not. The covers are really good, and I really enjoyed this album, so I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8.2. Okay, my number one album, and it's an album that Michael shows quite a lot. It's the third album. It's a double album from 1972, and it's called Something Anything. So side one is subtitled A Bouquet of Ear-Catching Melodies. Okay, it opens up with I Saw the Light. Very popular track. It's okay. I like the piano on it and the drumming. I quite like it. It's not too bad. Track 2 is It Wouldn't Have Made Any Difference. A nice gentle track with a lovely vocal on that from Todd. Wolfman Jack. Love this track. Very sort of Elton John-ish as well. Excellent piano work on that. Then we have Cold Morning Light. Some lovely acoustic guitar on this. Really is good. It takes two to tango. This is for the girls. The electric piano on this is brilliant. One of my favourite tracks on the album. Sweeter Memories. The guitar work again is mixed in with a lovely rich organ sound. Then we have side 2, which is called The Cerebral Side. We have this little intro. Load of nonsense and music rabbiting on. I don't know what's going on there. But then it goes into a little track called Breathless, which is quite funky, which is really good. Then we have The Night Carousel Burnt Down. I think this is quite Beatlesque. It's got some lovely harmony singing on it. I think it's a really good track. Then we have Saving Grace. Now this has got a strange start, but it's a pretty cool track. I really do like that track. Then we have Marlene. It was mentioned last week. Girls' Names. I quite like it. It's a really good song. Song of the Viking. Not too bad. Overdub vocals on it, but it's very clever. I Went to the Mirror. One of my favourite tracks on here. I think I love the piano and the vocal. It's just a little different. Side 3. The Kid Gets Heavy. First track on the side 3 is the Black Mariah. My favourite track on the whole album. Love the Hammond organ. Love the guitars. I love the vocal on it. It's an excellent track. One More Day, No Word. Some nice electric piano on this. Really gets the groove going. Excellent track. Couldn't I Just Tell You? Another good rocker song. Great drumming on this, as well as a nice, really good guitar solo. Torch Song. Piano, vocals, very good song. Little Red Lights, my second favourite track on this album. It's a killer. Some great guitar work, and it's quite heavy. And side 4 is subtitled Baby Needs a New Pair of Snakeskin Boots, a pop operetta. Overture to My Roots, Money, That's What I Want. It's not a bad... Yeah, Money, That's What I Want. It's okay, it's a bit tinny. Then Dust in the Wind. It's got a nice saxophone solo on it, really good. Then we have this song called Piss Aron. I quite like this. It's quite a busky sort of track. Some nice guitar work on there. Hello, It's Me. I do love the horns in this. Really adds to it. Some folks, it's even whiter than me. It's all about the trumpets on this. It's quite irritating, but it's good in the same way. The vocal's good as well. You Left Me Sore. Quirky little number. I do like the keyboards on it. And the last track is called Slut. It's a great little rocker to end this album. It's got some really strong riffs on it. As with most double albums, there are some really bad tracks on here, but there's not many. There's so many good tracks on it, and the whole album for a double album is excellent, especially from Todd. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.3. So there we go. That's Todd Rundgren. Have I changed my opinion on Todd? I have a little bit. I think he is a very talented gentleman. Bit pretentious, but aren't all rock stars. But on the whole, I think he's got a really good catalogue. I think I've got enough in there to say what I like and what I don't like. I don't think I'll ever buy anything, but if I ever fancy listening to some Todd, there's plenty of it on streaming services. So I've really enjoyed doing this and going into the crazy world of Todd Rundgren. Okay, that's all for today, but we'll be back tomorrow, and we've got Group C of Battle Royale 2, the punk and post-punk. Now, if I've got to remember what is in that group, I know Rise Public Image Limited is in that. Going Underground's on that. What a Waste. And Car Trouble. There we go. I did remember. So that's what we got tomorrow. And tomorrow is also Pick and Mix Day. And we have got producer, the late Chris Sangaries. Or Sangarides. I'm not quite sure how he pronounced it. So that's what we got tomorrow. So have a great day, everyone. And bye for now.